US President Joe Biden reacted to the rebel takeover in Syria Sunday, making an address from the Roosevelt Room in the White House. He made a number of key points, including reiterating his support for allies in the region, including Jordan, Lebanon and Israel, committing to sending senior officials to the region in the coming days. Biden also reiterated the protection he would supply to troops that are still in Syria, 900 U.S. troops still in the south of the country. Another key point that Biden stressed was the importance, in his view, of engaging Syrians in a transition to a new government, to achieving the aim of having a sovereign and independent Syria. Let's listen.
It's a moment of historic opportunity for the long-suffering people of Syria to build a better future for their proud country. It's also a moment of risk and uncertainty. As we all turn to the question of what comes next, the United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks.
In his address, Biden also mentioned that on Sunday morning, the United States undertook precision airstrikes on targets within Syria against the Islamic State. Important to remember, of course, that the rebel takeover was helmed by HTS, which is an umbrella for a number of rebel groups that have different values, are multi-factioned. And the HTS themselves are designated by the United States as a terrorist group. So they're very keen with the fall of the Bashar al-Assad government to ensure that there isn't a power vacuum in which the likes of Islamic State and al-Qaeda could gain prominence once again. In terms of what's happening on the ground, many Syrians are keen to return to their homes. Over 14 million were displaced over the course of more than a decade of the civil war in Syria. North of 6 million displaced and fled the country. In the last few days, as the rebel takeover continued, thousands more left their homes. The United Nations keen to ensure human security is restored, mentioning that they are committed to humanitarian assistance, including securing food and fuel for the Syrian people. Geir Pedersen, the UN Special Envoy to Syria, saying on Sunday morning in a statement, to those displaced, this moment renews the vision of returning to homes once lost. To families separated by war, the beginnings of reunions bring hope. To those unjustly detained and the families of the detained and the missing, the opening of prison doors reminds us of justice's eventual reach. The rebel takeover in Syria happening at a key moment in Middle East politics as wars continue in Gaza as well as Lebanon. Poppy and Puting, CGTN, Washington.